How did you kill someone?
I took an ice axe. I went to a man's house and I killed him.
In self-defense?
No.
Okay, then. Well, she is. I don't know what to say about that. I didn't think it would be so clear. I thought she would be a little bit more
empathetic about it.
Yeah, or just freaked out. Like, I killed someone.
Yeah.
What do I do? But she's just like completely calm, right?
Yeah, it's weird. And you know, the cross burned her and everything, and I'm starting to think, you know, when in the season 1 did she become possessed, if she is possessed?
I have no idea, but there's some weird shit going on. This is David's dream. David is sleeping, and you're like, oh, he's having another trippy dream. But you figure the mushroom trips, right? So we see him fall to the ground, and then he's in the field again. And here comes the demon goat, the devil, whatever.
It is, but I like that design, though. I don't know. You know, I never really understood why he was in David's thoughts in season 1 either. You know, why David was hearing him.
I thought it was like almost like a telepathic supernatural connection. But anyways, welcome everybody. I'm Maurice, this is Justin, and we are here to talk about the Evil season 2 premiere, which was wow. Wow.
Well, I don't know what to say about that.
I'm excited because those of you, hopefully everyone, got a chance to subscribe to Paramount. And I know a lot of people are upset because it's not on CBS. I know it sucks, but you know, it's a lot of good content on there.
Even if you get the commercial supported thing, there's still a lot of stuff on there. Yeah.
They were able to take it up a notch because of it. And I like that. I really like that.
And I really like that she was able to, that they're able to curse this season too, that they're able to expand upon their dialogue because they're on the streaming service.
Yeah, and they went back and they edited in the F-bomb. So she called him a F-U-C-K-E-R. I won't say it here because I don't want us to get in trouble, but yeah.
I actually played that part back when she said the F-bomb because it sounded weird to me. But then I realized that she's from the Netherlands, and that's why it sounded funny.
Yeah, we'll go through the episode, but that Kristen, this whole no remorse, nonchalant, completely calm, very matter of fact, there's this twinkle in her eye when she says, I killed him.
I killed someone. Oh my God.
Completely at peace with it.
I found it very uneasy that she was able to, you know, before she went into it in detail, she told her therapist, you know, we have complete confidentiality. You can't go to the police.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. And then the scene is funny, almost comical, because she mentions about the alibi and the wife, because the suspect is the wife. Well, I made sure the wife had an alibi. Basically saying she kind of set herself up. Yeah.
And it was premeditated too, just in case she was going to kill him.
Yes.
She made sure that the wife had an alibi. Yeah. For me, I got really uneasy at that part because it not only showed her vindictiveness, but it also showed the fact that the actress, the depth of her willingness to take the character to a dark place.
Yeah, I agree. She did phenomenal work with that. We've seen a transformation of the character throughout the season. I feel like it happened the second half of the season. There were little hints here and there, although I don't know if those were intentional or not. We saw this cat, everyone wanted to know what the situation was with the cat last season.
Yeah.
That cat did not like her. And she thought the cat was possessed, but maybe the cat knew something was wrong with her.
There was one of my friends who messaged me the night of the episode that's also a fan of the show. And she was like, is Leland inside the cat?
Okay, I'm going back to the beginning so we can go through this freaking episode.
They started the episode with the dialogue from last season.
I didn't think they were going to be this straightforward about showing she definitely did it. I thought they would leave a little bit of ambiguity in there.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
They flat out, I mean, there was no doubt. We saw every piece of evidence.
The blood on her leg at the hospital. Yeah, and Ben was like, "Why is there blood on your leg?" And she said, "There isn't. I want you to see that there's no blood on my leg."
Yeah, what was that all about?
Because if he had to somehow testify in court, I think that she wanted him to say that there was no blood on her leg.
They also have her burying the axe, and the daughter appears in the window, and it's creepy as hell. It's like a ghost.
I was just about to say that. I don't know which one it was. I think it was Lexus, but I'm not sure.
It has to be Lexi. Yeah. She's decided not to bury the hatchet here. She's going to clean it.
I personally think that's a mistake because, even no matter how thoroughly you clean it, they can still find blood on it.
Yeah. And then we've cut to David running. David just can't catch a break. He had that situation in the hospital, and then he got stabbed and like thrown in the basement in the other episode, and
that one where he got thrown in the basement was after he got attacked by that psychopath.
Yeah, he's running. He goes to sleep. He has these drawings of, I guess, the demon in the fields. Now, did he draw these?
Yes, he did.
So he drew these. Okay. Kristen is just kind of floating through the field. She's floating towards, and then Leland pops up and starts dancing to Funky Town. I didn't see that coming. They do keep you on your toes. I gotta tell you.
I gotta tell you, when Leland comes in his little vision quest that he has, like, I jump every time Leland pops up.
And then we have footage on the news of serial killer found dead. Ben is watching this and thinking,
There were a lot of people that would want LaRue dead, so she's not the only one, and for him to jump directly to thinking that she did something is unlike Ben, I think.
It was an interesting choice for them to cut to him reacting to it.
I do love the fact that they were showing us, the inside of where his home and where he lives and his environment. I really love that.
But then after the intro, they're talking about the fertility clinic. A demonic presence is trying to manipulate a generation by corrupting their eggs.
Corrupting them how, though? Like, that's what I don't understand.
So Kristen is a little bit concerned, obviously, because Lexus or Lexia? Lexi, is that
it's Lexus.
Lexus. Okay.
Well, I do want to interject with something there really quick. When she was at the dentist, they had her under local anesthesia for the procedure. And if you rerun the episode and pause it, you'll see a moment where she awakens and then bites the dentist's finger off. So she knew what she was doing, I think.
So the three of them want to investigate this in vitro clinic exclusively, but they learn that they have a new exorcism to perform. And of all people, I just peed. It was so funny. It's Leland.
I wasn't expecting that. Honestly, I wasn't.
I don't think any of us were.
That caught me by surprise.
That's very brilliant writing, I gotta say.
It really is.
Right before they go in, we have Ben questioning Kristen. Is there anything I should know about? Kristen being like, no, I'm fine. It's just like, what?
I also agree with Kristen. I think that they only wanted to do the exorcism because he's giving the Catholic Church money. So
my question is, what is Leland's motivation behind this? Is he just trying to bug them and troll them and get under their skin? Or does he really want out of his deal with the devil?
No, I think that he was ordered by the devil to toy with them.
Okay, so he is kind of trolling them, but
yes,
under the direction of Demon
The
Goat
devil.
Man.
Yeah.
Demon, Demon Goat Man. I can't take him too seriously when he looks like a furry. He literally looks like a furry.
But he does, but that
So
was the first design. That was the first design of the devil that I actually enjoy looking at. You know.
Yeah. Well, moving on with the episode, obviously the three of them do not want to do an exorcism. I can't imagine why. Like everything that comes out of his mouth, like she said, it's just, you don't know what to believe. You have to question every motive because whether or not he's possessed, I think he's just a very bitter man.
I also agree with Kristen when she said that it doesn't look like the devil has granted your every evil wish or something like that. Because he lives in a very like this neutral apartment with nothing telling about his life, and he's just like this bland guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fairly nice place for New York. It's pretty big and spacious. Oh, and then we're taken to the scene with the psychiatrist. So we kind of covered this in a little bit in the beginning, but yeah. Okay, before she told him that she was going to she killed Orson, she had to make sure, as you said, he wasn't going to.
She had to, I actually went back and I read that decision that they referenced, and it's pretty ironclad. Therapists cannot go to the police unless it's about a future crime. So they got that factually correct.
Does it vary from state to state, or is that a federal thing?
It's a federal thing. So no matter what state you practice in, you cannot go to the police if you're a therapist. Unless it's about a future crime. So if they're planning on killing someone in the future. The thing I like about the Kings, though, is that everything they put in their show, even the stuff that they reference, is based on facts. So when you're talking about the good wife or the good fight or even evil, everything is based on literal fact. Nothing is made up, not where the law is concerned. I really like that.
I saw a few people on our page, and I don't know what you think, because we can talk about this a little bit. A few people on our page think she was justified. They say they would do the same thing if they threatened. I don't know if I would do that. I would call the cops. I don't think I could do that, especially bludgeoning.
I'm torn. I really am, because on one thing, he really did threaten her kids. He said, I'm going to call the cops and I'm going to tell them you threatened me. And when they take you away, I'm going to go and I'm going to murder your children. So
yeah.
in a way, he did threaten her family.
He did. So if they said she threatened him, she could say, well, he threatened me. He didn't say he broke the law. I mean, it's illegal to threaten someone. So she did break the law by threatening him. However, a counter threat is just as bad. Like, you are not legally allowed to threaten someone. It's a criminal offense.
In that situation, like, how do you prove it? I mean,
well, usually when you have a stalker, you have to have a actual threat before you go and file a report. I don't know. I think it does vary state to state, because a lot of it comes into the stalking laws. This is in New York, so I'll tell you how it is in New York. In order to get like an order of protection, you have to send a cease and desist letter first, and you have to have it in writing, and you have to notify them. Hey, you have to say, stop calling me. Do not call me. Do not contact me. You have to first notify them and then come back. If they keep coming after you after you notify them, then we got to get you an order to protect. And then if they violate your order to protect, then they can get arrested. So I don't know if she had an order to protect against him, but...
She didn't.
Okay, so that would be the logical thing to do, but she's become... Something's going on with her.
I don't think she regrets her actions, though. Like, I don't think she regrets killing him.
She clearly doesn't. And that is a little scary. Regardless of whether or not he was threatening her family, there should be a little bit of remorse.
I think that even though we've only had one episode, I think we should classify her as a sociopath, because that exchange right there tells us everything. I think that she might have reached a breaking point after Lexus was on the floor and the door was open at the end of the first season.
Yeah.
And I think that she just snapped. I might be reaching a little bit there in terms of the timeline and stuff, but I really think that that's a possibility.
And then she gets home after this, and there's blood on the floor. There's blood literally everywhere. And
And
it's definitely a fang.
you don't actually think they're going to turn her into a vampire, do you?
I don't know. I mean, different demons can have fangs.
Was that you that suggested that the evil DNA might be corrupting her actual DNA, causing the vampire fang?
No, but that's an interesting. What is that theory exactly?
When they messed with the egg in utero, they somehow tampered with the child's actual human DNA. So I think that person was saying that it's like mutant DNA or something.
If this is true, that's a lot of little vampire children we have out in the world. So we're up to the part here where Ben comes to the house. There's blood everywhere. It looks like there's a murder scene. And they learn about the rosary. He gives a probable, like a more legitimate explanation for why she could have burned herself, which we don't know if we buy that or not.
I'm split on that.
Yeah, then we learn about the bus driver.
Well, of course I lied. I'm possessed. Did you really think that the spawn of the devil would be honest with you?
It's so wonderful.
And especially when Kristen walks in and says, I've spoken to your wife. You didn't ride the bus. So there was no reason for you to pray to Satan.
Yes. So this whole bus driver thing is debunked by Kristen. Once again, Kristen comes in and just says, you didn't do this. You keep lying about everything to make it seem like you're much more scary than you are.
I wonder if Leland made that accident with his ex-wife happen. I mean, I know I'm jumping forward a little bit, but I think he made it happen.
He implied that it was his doing, but we don't know that for sure. But Kristen isn't convinced either. She thinks he's a total fraud with this whole Satan thing.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Then he talks about this tattoo.
How would he be able to do that?
I have no idea. I don't know enough about tattooing. I just know that that's gotta hurt. And then we hear he says Ben is gonna have a nightmare. Now that he was right about, Ben did have a nightmare.
Yeah, and I think that Ben is starting to question his skepticism.
You hear him trying to talk himself out of it in the dream. This isn't real. The reason why I'm having it because Leland has suggested it.
And why was it a female demon that visited him?
Because I think it's succubus or incubus.
Succubus.
Yeah, so this visitor bit his nipple and that woke him up. Ow.
I felt pain in my nipple when that happened.
So they go to Leland's house. It's not too exciting. It is pretty nice for a New York apartment. I gotta tell you, it's nice.
Yeah.
It's what the heck?
And
So-
see, I'm gonna admit this. I have very spastic muscles because of my disability. So like I jump a lot with loud sounds. And so when that song started, like I jumped out of my chair.
That was so loud, and I had my window open, and I know my neighbors, they were all outside in the backyard, and I know they heard it. So it's devoid of any natural sound except for that little thing that sings Feliz Navidad.
And I thought that was really peculiar. I'm not sure why his apartment would be devoid of sound. I don't have a theory about that yet.
I don't have a theory about that either. Did they explain it at all later on in the episode?
No, they did not.
Just gotta tuck that little fact away. And then what? They pulled something out of the floorboard?
The pictures, the copies of the
symbols?
Yeah, the symbols. The demon symbols, yeah. That, for our puzzle hunters out there, that was one scene that they need to pay attention to, because the math that he wrote on the borders must mean something, although we don't know yet. So whatever it is, they need to go hunt for a meaning.
So they found the tattoo kit. They confront Leland about this. She mentions the ex-wife who's doing better without him. You might want to check on that. She calls. She gets the ex-wife's mom. The mom says, hey, she's been in a horrible, horrible accident. We don't know if Leland had anything to do with that or not. Could just be a coincidence.
I'm not convinced.
And the priest is not convinced.
Of course.
So she goes to do the analysis. Kristen goes through her questions, I guess the 500 questions she asks, and the look on his face is just priceless. He's like, oh.
You know, I'm surprised she didn't switch it up because he knows the questions that she was going to ask.
But then again, she's very by the book with that type of stuff. She wants to put in the effort because she thinks it's a waste of time. She already kind of knows that something's not right, and she believes that he's a psychopath. So in her mind, it's just kind of going through the motions. He knows that darkness has come into her life, but she's not like his main target here. He wants David.
Why?
He wants to corrupt David.
Why does he want Kristen to convince David to do the exorcism? What other goal would this be for him?
It might be the devil's instructions. Maybe it's a way for the devil to get into David's head.
Maybe it's a way for him to infiltrate the Catholic Church. Leland said something in this episode that was really interesting to me. He said, you don't give your soul to the devil, you sell it. That is a take that I have never heard before.
Well, no, I've heard you sell your soul. There's an exchange. There's a definite exchange. So I'll give you this, but I need your soul. Sometimes, often in movies, we find a lot of the pitfall being, well, it's in exchange to save someone else's life or someone that's sick, that's dying. Like, it comes from a really serious place of desperation. So now we're at the scene where the daughter bites off the freaking finger. I wasn't ready for that. They leave. They don't show what happened. They just show them leaving in the car. Like, it happened so fast. And next thing you know...
Yeah, that was what was weird to me.
Yeah, they don't show anything. How do they react? Were they like, you can't come back? Like, oh, this happens all the time? No. They're just in the car. They left. They just left. Ah! Okay, we're in the car. We're leaving.
Yeah, it is. But they can't really blame it on the daughter, though, because she was under anesthesia.
No, I don't think they would. But yikes.
I've never bitten my dentist's finger off, so I don't know.
I've never bitten anybody. I mean, I don't go around biting people, so bizarre. Although kids do bite sometimes.
The preacher, the pastor, is going to force them to do the exorcism, essentially.
Yeah.
Apparently, he wants them to witness whether Leland is really possessed or whether he's just toying with them. I just think he just wants to keep the money that Leland's given the church.
Can't blame him for that. He's paying him off. And then there's something with the spy cam here. Ben goes back to his house, and Leland's just...
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, what?
When you looked at me like that, that gave me chills.
Acting! Yeah. Oh, that's what he's doing. I'm a little more animated than him. What is he doing?
How did he know that? How did he know that they were watching him?
He may have seen it, and then it kind of like there's like a weird glitch. What is that? There's a little glitch in the end. He goes like this. He's like, and then there's a weird glitch.
Yeah,
that's it.
I don't know. I think it's kind of like the same thing that happened in season 1 with Kristen talking to Leland and recording the conversation, and Leland's side didn't come through.
Okay.
I think it's similar to that.
So it's supernatural. There's some supernatural element there.
Yes.
All right.
If you go through to the end and you wait for the credits to pass, there's some special thing that they included where George is like explaining what's going to happen
for next season.
Yes.
Or for this season, for the rest of the season.
For this season, yeah. And he said, now that I'm not Kristen's demon anymore, I'm yours. And I was like, oh no.
Yeah, it looks like an exciting season. I like this episode. I didn't really have a moment where I wasn't engaged, and I really like that.
I enjoyed every second of it. Yeah.
Thank you guys all for watching, and we will do another one for next week. Everyone that is watching, we hope you liked it. Please subscribe and join our evil group. I'll have the links down below, and we will see you next week.
Bye.